grainy, gritty, whatever. At this point, I don't even care. Quick story time. And thank you for all of my subscribers, my fams, my lovelies. Hi. How you doing? Good evening, afternoon, wherever you at. Thanks for liking, commenting. Most importantly, thank you for your support and subscribing. Sorry, my mind almost said prescribing because day job, I am in the medical field, so dealing with medications and people's things of that sort. Other side hustle, I DoorDash now. This is where it gets very, very interesting. And glory be to the Most High, the Father, the Lord, Jesus, His Son, that I am a platinum DoorDasher, which means you get certain perks that others that are, if they're starting out, they'll maybe bronze, then move up to silver, then move up to gold, and then they'll move up eventually to platinum tier status. I have a good rating, good customer feedback, except yesterday there is this one customer, and man, I follow instructions to the T because you can find some good information in the comments part of where they want you to deliver their food, if they want you to hand it to them. Well, let me tell you. Let me drink some water first before I tell you about the foolishness that happened. I always follow directions, instructions. I may have had maybe before one where the lady was a little rude because she had two doors to deliver at. And it was dark and hard to see. She didn't specifically specify which door. There's a front door and there's a back door. Apparently she wanted me to deliver to the back door, but I could not necessarily see the back door because it's dark on the street, no lights. I'm going up a rocky hill in my SUV, and my car is like this to get up the hill. And I'm just like, oh no. And then to get down the driveway, I had to go back down the same rocky, ungraveled, unpaved road. And so honestly, I took a picture, described where I left it at. Tell me why I get fussed at and a bad rating because I didn't put it at the back door. If I cannot see where the back door is and I'm in the boonies, I'm not risking my car, for one, my health, or my safety to go where I cannot see it. It's pitch black at night, no lights. The only lights would be my phone light and my car light. And I'm not going to leave my car unattended for a long time. Even though when I DoorDash, I dash with my sister and we have a male, her boyfriend, with us to ensure our safety. We all felt unsafe in the area because there's no lights. It's pitch black. The road is like this small. It's unpaved, ungraveled. I have two cars. So when I DoorDash, depending on the location, especially at night, I need to get my sedan, some work done on my sedan, so I don't always take that. That is my extra car that if I don't owe on that, I'm still paying on my Subaru. Well, here's what happened yesterday, which I'll get to the second part. So, of course, I put it there with that customer. Somehow I get a bad rating for it. I put it at the door. You said leave at the door. How was I supposed to know? There's two doors. I put it at the first door that I said it, that I was able to see. You didn't specify. But that was taken care of. Eventually, I worked my way back up. And I haven't had any more ungrateful customers. Man, when I tell you this lady last night, it takes the cake. This woman, and this, for some reason, you know when the Holy Ghost and the Spirit tells you don't do it. But I always fulfill my orders. Even if it takes me a minute to find it, I always share feedback. Hey, I'm having trouble with the directions. I'll call, I'll text, what's going on. And I read the little note. You're supposed to, as any good dasher is going to read the text message part on there. And if you see a red line or a red dot, that means the customer is trying to tell you something of importance. Same day before I had the final worst customer ever, I had a nice lady tell me instructions in the comments part on the little red dot, where to go, what door to enter in, the keypad of how to get in with the code, and then which way her apartment is. When her husband came to the door and handed him the order, I let him know, hey, your wife did a great job with the directions. It was very easy, and I hope she enjoys her food. And I left. Sometimes you get really nice customers that tip, they're grateful, and then you just go about your business. But there are those times when you get those disgusting, aggravating ass customers. Such as yesterday. This is the worst. When I say the worst customer ever, she should never, ever Uber Eat, Grubhub, DoorDash, none of that. So I go to the Jersey Mike's, pick up her food. There's an airport here in Raleigh, Durham. Now, I'm only going to follow instructions that the customer tells me to keep up my ratings, to make sure customer satisfaction, and to appease DoorDash as well. Because I don't want a unsatisfied customer. I want to make sure they get their food, and I don't want a bad rating at all. And I don't want to ever seem rude or mean. So her instructions was to call when arriving at the location. Sometimes DoorDash GPS, especially if the weather is not as good, it started to get cold. I routed it. My sister, well, me, my cousin, and male friend, we all have, the GPS told us to go to the Hertz. We went to the Hertz, but apparently it's not at the gate she wanted us to go to. So I called because we couldn't get in the gate. And she said, call when arrived. I called, there's two numbers. I called the first number 4 times, no answer, kept going to voicemail, kept going to voicemail. I called 4 times the second number. Maybe on the 5th time, she called like she had an attitude, and it said, do not leave food at the counter. And I said, well, which gate? Because I'm confused. It's cold, the weather. Which gate do you want me to? Because I called you at least a lot of times, and you did not answer. And I'm like, well, how do I get in this gate? Well, when I get through the gate that she instructed me to go to, how about as soon as we turn in, a car comes like this, within inches, almost hits the side of my car. It's the customer. And my mind, my cousin's mind, and her man's mind. If you had a car the whole time, why didn't you have me just walk through the gate and meet you where you at and hand you your food? Because this would have never happened to my car. What happened to my car would have never happened if you would have allowed me to walk through the gate, hand you your food. I could have went back to my car. I could have parked my car outside, went back through the gate, and drove off. Easy peasy. Or leave it at the counter since you didn't want to answer. Multiple times. Multiple times. Because I even let you know where I was when the directions was confusing. I always communicate. Well, let's get into where she almost hits my car within inches of it. Because how we turn in, turning slowly. You never want to just speed through the parking lot. She comes around the corner like this. And within inches, almost hits my car. So my sister's man hands her food. And we're trying to figure out, okay, wait, we know we came in a certain way. That way. What's the way we can get out of here quickly, safely? She tells us go back the same way we came in and go out that way. And we're like, are you sure? Because there's multiple gates. Yeah, you should be fine. Well, when we go out the same way we came in, spikes out of nowhere appear and pops all four of my tires. So when we call the customer and we speak to the Hertz, they have an attitude. The customer's like, "Well, I didn't tell you," and da 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 da. And so then my cousin even calls and she starts lying. But my sister's man was like, "No, that's not what you told us. I'm being very calm because I handed you the food and I had to guide her of how to get to the gate based on your directions. You specifically, all three of us in the car, know the directions you said. We follow them to a T. You got your food, yes, but our car, the four tires are flattened." And she's sitting there laughing, going off like, ah, ha, 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 da, 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 and rudely hangs up. So, my other car right now, I have to get three new tires because I have a spare tire in the trunk that matches the popped tires. So I have to get three new tires to my Subaru, my SUV, which is the main car I take for the road, dashing, all of that, because the tires are made to handle extremes in the road. My sedan is not. It would take some time. I've already had to, about 2 months ago, get a new tire for my sedan because it didn't come with a spare tire or a jack, and I had to get a new tire about 2 months ago. So as you can see, it's a lot. Well, coming home or we're trying to figure out what's going on. We could not really drive it, but like this, had to take it as far as it could from the airport. We made it to Durham, but my car is parked in a safe location. But the tires, if I was to take a picture of how them tires look, y'all would be like, "Are you serious?" Because it could not sit at the airport and get towed. It's in a safe location where it's not going to get towed. I was able to get help from one of my friends in Texas. And then when I get paid from DoorDash today, I'm going to have to get some new tires. And I hope the battery is okay because it died and it had to get jumped. And a nice little Samaritan was able to take us home last night. And so we're going to have to take my sedan and go get the new tires for the SUV. But let me tell you, if you ever get this rude lady, Denisha E, from DoorDash, don't do it. If you are a top tier one, don't do it. Please. DoorDash has said that she will now be blocked, and they're going to do a full investigation incident report, and I have to take a picture of how my tires look and everything. But I have the timestamps, and I dare her to lie as to what happened and how it happened. Because I have more than one witness as to what she did. And I saw that when we were slowly trying to drive it to a safe location, I guess people were trying to take pictures or whatever. Like, wait, are they driving with the tires all messed up? Well, grace of God, the car got as far as it did. But honestly, I can't take nothing else happening this year to either one of the cars because this, at this point, is ridiculous. So that is where I'm at with this story time. Some people are very grateful and some people tip. And not only that, she did not tip and she had an attitude. So I'm one of the nicest, sweetest people. When I dash, I follow instructions, I read to the T, and if I can't find it, just know I'm never. Sometimes the GPS directions can be a little wonky, so that can be frustrating. But when I find it, I'm grateful to give the customers their food on time, and I let them know, hey, the GPS is messing up. Where are you at? Because sometimes it'll send me a block or two up or a block or two back, and you have to keep updating it. So far, this week has not been bad. In previous weeks, the directions was just horrible. If you live in the Raleigh-Durham area at night, there needs to be light on some of the streets. Some street lights, something, because if you have to turn, it is dark and hard to see in some areas. And it was hard to see where that car lot was to turn off on the street. How it is at the airport is craziness. But any dashers in the area, don't go at night delivering nothing to the airport, especially not the Hertz rental company, because That lady that worked there, that's who I'm talking about. She's a little heavy set, yellow, not really yellow, but like a red tone. I'm just gonna tell you that's who it is. If you dash, don't deliver nothing. If you do Uber Eats, Grub, nothing to her because she is rude, nasty, and untimely with getting her food. And I just thought y'all should know, and that is the tea. And I'll have some more videos later on. Love y'all.